This is Umar for BoxNation in association with Global Next Trade. It's been a minute since I've been joined by the Haymaker. How are you, David? How's life?
Not bad, busy. Lots cooking, but looking forward to this fight Saturday night. God damn, it's going to be a cracker.
Absolutely. We'll get stuck into it. But you said you've been keeping yourself busy. So what's been keeping you busy, David?
You'll see in the next couple of weeks. You'll see.
Well, you're not
Yeah,
making a comeback,
exciting
are
things.
you?
No, it's you'll see. You'll get it. You'll appreciate it.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, we might have to jump on a Zoom in a couple of weeks and discuss that.
Definitely we'll do that.
It's actually good to get you back on BoxNation. It's quite fitting, David A on BoxNation.
I've had a rich history with Box Nation over the years, so it's a great platform.
Absolutely. I was just saying to you off camera, just here at lunch with Frank, obviously who started Box Nation many years ago. But what have you made of the situation where literally 99% of the heavyweight division now is with Frank Warren in Queensbury?
It just makes it easy. It makes it convenient for the fans to get the fights they want. In the past, promoters would have their heavyweight champion or their top ranked heavyweight, and they'd keep them all protected and never give them the fights that the fans want to see. So you'd be watching multiple promoters, showing how good their fighters are, but we'd never get the actual talent to fight each other. Now, because obviously Riyadh season of the financial injection has facilitated the fans finally getting the fights they want to see, and they're getting them straight away. How many 10 years ago you wouldn't get a Toma fighting Dillian Whyte. It just the mechanics of the business wouldn't be doable. But today we're getting the fights that the fans want to see.
For sure. Let's get stuck into Moses Itauma because this is a 20-year-old with incredible hype around him, the sparring stories, the way he's been knocking out people so far in the professional game. Remember when you were coming through, there was so much hype. Even
Mm,
David Price had a lot of hype, obviously Anthony Joshua, but
mm,
all you guys found that stumbling block at one point. Obviously, Joshua with
mm,
Ruiz,
mm.
Carl Thompson. Um, so obviously Daniel Dubois had it with Joe Joyce as well. Do you think Dillian Whyte still has enough to be that stumbling block for Moses Itauma or not?
100%, 100%. Dylan White, if he's paid the price in training, if he's taken it seriously, which by all accounts he has, he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be going out getting knocked out by a 21-year-old novice. That's not on the script for him. He's not believing that. He's been there, seen it, done it. He's mixed it with the best in sparring and in championship fights. Well, he's fought the very very best and always given a good account of himself. And he has the ability to win this fight because he's so experienced. Does he still have that magic? I haven't seen it in his last two fights, but physically he looks in a different place to those last two fights. And when people start taking their eye off it and start judging him on his worst performances, you can miscalculate. If you looked at before I fought Carl Thompson, if you looked at his the prior fights going into that, he was in all sorts of trouble. He was barely winning those fights against guys I believed I could beat easy. So in my mind, it's a stepping stone. I'm on the up, he's on the down. Exactly the same situation with Atoma and Dillian Whyte. Everyone says, yeah, Dillian Whyte, if this fight was 5, 6 years ago, the fight wouldn't happen, but it's happening now. Dillian thinking, everyone's written me off. I'm getting a crazy payday. I'm out in Riyadh season and I got to fight a guy who's had 12 fights. It's like against a very low level compared to Dillian. So he's going to be swimming in water, uncharted territory, uncharted waters. He's going to be doing something he hasn't done yet under the lights. He may have done it in sparring, probably has, but sparring and competition with those little 10 ounce gloves takes one mistake and you're sitting on the seat of your pants. And he hasn't been in that situation yet. We don't know what his punch resistance is like because he's so skillful. He's not given his opponents a chance to test his chin, and that's exactly what you want with a young fighter. You don't want him showing everyone I've got a great chin because look, I took 100 clean right hands. It means your career's not going to go anywhere. But he started his career in the ideal way, which his style is a sort of a seek and destroy, slip counter, take your head out roll. I really enjoy watching him because it reminds me of my style and how I implemented my physical attributes to get victories over guys who were much more experienced. I thought a guy, King Arthur Williams, who was coming off, the former IBF world champion in my ninth fight or 10th fight, and that was a big step up. But I took it very seriously, and I paced myself. I stuck with a game plan, and I won that fight real easy, and it justified me taking that step up against Carl Thompson at the time. But the mindset I went into the Carl Thompson fight was different to the fight against King Arthur Williams, because for some reason I didn't believe Carl Thompson was going to be able to roll back the years. I thought what I had was enough to get him out in a few rounds, and Itauma needs to treat the fight with Dillian as though it's going to be the hardest fight of his life. And as long as he goes into the fight without any hype, just truly believing in himself and sticking to the game plan, he should be okay. He should be okay.
Go on, sorry. If he does stick to that game plan,
yeah. If he does stick to that game plan, he has the firepower to knock anybody out. Obviously within reason. But can he handle the big pressure? Can he handle it? I don't know. I'd like to believe he could, because I think he's got all the ingredients you need to be a world champion, for sure. He's got everything you need. But there are a few unknowns. What's his stamina like? What's it like when it gets into round 7, 8, 9? And it's tight. It's a 50-50 fight. He's only won half the round because Dillian stuck it straight on him and won those early rounds that he was expecting to win. How does he process it? Does he crumble, or does he rise to the occasion and come back and show Dillian something else? So there's so many unknowns in this fight, and if I'm a betting man, I go with Itauma early in the first 4 rounds, or I'll straddle that with Dillian Whyte on points. So I'd either go. It would be a fight of two halves. It would be the youth, the energy, the speed, the confidence of a young, hungry fighter who knows no better, and against a seasoned campaigner who's mixed it. We're talking about his box career. He had a professional kickboxing career as well. He had about 30 international level world championship kickboxing fights before he did his boxing. So he couldn't be any more experienced in combat. And someone like that, just like Carl Thompson was a world champion kickboxer as well, there are so many similarities between Carl Thompson and Dillian Whyte. I just hope Itauma treats the fight as it's the hardest fight of his life, because it's going to be if Dillian turns up.
Well, that was an epic breakdown. David, I've got to ask you one question about Oleksandr Usyk. Can you see anyone in this era, and I include Moses Itauma in this, Ajit Kabayel, Joseph Parker, can you see anyone beating Oleksandr Usyk?
The only people I can realistically say, based on their prior fights, I'd say first person is Derek Chisora. I think Derek Chisora is the only person with the style, the engine, and the understanding of Usyk, because he's been in there before, and he won. He lost by 2 rounds. I mean, in one more round, he would have won. The fight would have been a draw. So he's come closest as a professional to beating Usyk. The second person I'd say is Moses Itauma. I'd say Moses is maybe not in his next fight after this, but he has the physical tools and the youth and the hunger to beat someone who is unbeatable. I think Derek Chisora first and Moses Itauma second. If I'm to find someone to beat Usyk, everybody else, I don't think they've got that much of a chance. Ajit Kabayel as well, he'll be on that list as well. I'd say Ajit, he'll be on that list. Him and Moses Itauma would probably, I guess I'd say they're about the same. Although Kabayel is a lot more experienced, he doesn't have that zapping, southpaw, sharpshooting energy that the young Moses has. But he's got the experience. Moses doesn't yet. But after this fight, we'll know whether his firepower relates at the world stage.
Definitely. Listen, David, appreciate your time. Always a good conversation when speaking to you. And listen, we might have another catch up when you've got whatever this news is in a couple of weeks.
All right, perfect. Looking forward to it.
Take care, David. Thank you.
Thanks,